Alright, so asking somebody how old they are and asking somebody how much money they have got are probably two of the biggest talking points that you should avoid, especially if you are from the UK. So guess what? I'm going to be talking about both of them in this video by answering the question, how much money should you have saved by what age in the UK? So if talking about your age and talking about money is a sensitive topic to you, then I highly suggest clicking off this video right now because it's not going to be for you. But if you are sticking around, let me just introduce myself to you guys if we haven't met already. My name is Christos Fellas. I am an entrepreneur and investor, and on this YouTube channel I talk all things personal finance. So if any of those things interest you, then consider subscribing down below. But having said all that, let's jump straight into it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each age milestone. We're going to go through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and 60s, and I'm going to tell you how much your net worth should be at the end of each age. And I guess you're probably asking now, how do you even calculate your net worth? Well, it's actually very, very easy. The first thing that you have to do is you need to take a look at all the different assets in your name. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take up everything that produces income for you that is classed as an asset. This could be cash in your bank, this could be investments that you have, this could be a pension, this could be equity in your home. So basically what is the value of your home minus the mortgage that you owe, and it could include other things such as alternative investments. Maybe you own some gold, some silver, or anything like that. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add all of those up, and that is going to be your total assets. From there you're going to need to take a look at all your different liabilities. Now a liability is basically something that takes money away from you. So this could be obviously a loan that you've taken out, it could be a car payment that you have to pay every month. Anything that takes money away from you is classed as a liability. So you're going to need to add all of those up, and then basically all you are going to do is take away your liabilities from your assets, and then whatever the remaining figure, whether it's negative or positive, is going to be your net worth. So now we've got that, and hopefully maybe you've worked out your net worth, whether you've paused this video or not. What we're going to do now is actually get into our milestones, and let's start off with how much money should you have by the age of 20, and the answer is actually zero. This is simply because the time leading up to this age, you are simply going to either be in school, college, university. You are not going to really be earning that much money, and that is absolutely fine. This is a time in your life where you should be working out what you want to do in life. You should be investing in yourself. This is so important to do, and basically you shouldn't be worrying about saving for a house or saving to put investments away or anything like that. Obviously, if you do have the opportunity to do that after you've done all the other things, you've worked out what you want to do, or maybe your parents have left you some money to put down for a house, that is absolutely fine. All I'm saying here is that it shouldn't be a priority. So if you are sitting there and you are worried about having money in your savings before the age of 20, do not worry at all. You have got plenty of time. Now, let's actually jump forward 10 years and find out how much money you should have by the age of 30. And when you are in your 20s leading up to your 30s, you should now actually start to have an idea of what you want to do in life, and maybe you've landed yourself a full-time job and you've been in full-time employment for hopefully a couple of years now. And one thing that I'm going to clear up straight away, I know of course every single job pays differently, and depending where you live in the country, it's going to pay differently as well. So what we're going to do in this video, I'm actually going to take the average UK salary, which looking at 2020 stats, I actually couldn't find 2021, was £31,461 before taxes taken off. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of inflation just to make up for that year that I couldn't find. We're going to round it up to make sure it's £32,000, which is the UK average salary. And just going off that figure, you should be saving up to 25% every single month from that salary after the tax has been taken off to put towards either investments or, in most people's cases going through this time of their life, a house deposit. And when the 10 years are up and you turn 30, this will be me in literally 1 month's time, you should have around £30,000 to £35,000 as your net worth. And like I said, this could be a house deposit, it could be money in a house, it could be your savings, or it could be investments. Like I said at the start, you should have a net worth of £30,000 to £35,000 by the age of 30. And as you can probably tell, this is 1 year's worth of the UK average salary. Now, one thing I have to say, if you are watching this and you are seeing that number and you are panicking because you are not there yet, Do not worry at all. Like I said, this video is very much for achieving financial freedom. In fact, if we actually take a look at this chart here, which is actually the statistics for net worth for people between the age of 25 and 34-year-old, it currently sits at £8,200. So if you are above that number, but maybe you're not quite at that £30,000 mark, you are still doing very, very well. So do not panic. Now, by the time you get to 40 years old, not that we want to wish that time away at all, this is where things start to get really, really interesting. And if you take that £32,000 that you should have as a net worth, you invest that money into an asset and you continue to save money from your salary, especially if it's going to increase as well, because that is something that is definitely going to happen, you should actually now be worth £108,000, which is more than 3 times the average UK salary. And basically this is all down to a really special thing called compound interest. And basically what I have done is I've taken this compound interest calculator online, and as you can see here, we have started out with the money that we should have by the age of 30, which is £32,000. We invest £2,500 of our salary every single year, and we're going to go at an average interest rate of 8%, which is pretty normal for the UK. And basically what you can see below is that almost half of our money here came from interest gains alone. And I'm hoping that you're potentially watching this video and starting to say to yourself, now I know why they use the saying the rich get richer, because they are using their money as leverage and they are using compound interest to grow it even faster. Just to summarize, at the age of 40, you should have 3 times the UK salary at around £108,000. So having said all that, by the time we get to age 50, this is where that compounding interest works for you even more. And by this age, you should actually have £500,000 in net worth, which is £500,000. Now, this may sound like quite a lot of money, and you may be thinking, "God, £500,000, £500,000, let me go out and get that Lambo," or something like that. Unfortunately, most of this is obviously going to be tied up in a house payment. It's going to be in long-term investment. Most of it's going to be in assets and not cash, which is absolutely fine, because this is where life is going to get a lot easier for you. As you come towards the end of paying your mortgage, or maybe you've even paid it off by now, things are going to get a lot easier, because typically you're still going to be working, because most people do work at the age of 50. Your wage is going to be higher. Your payments towards your house is going to be lower, which means you can put more money towards investing. Now, one thing that I'm definitely going to do when I get to 50 is actually look to buy more income producing assets. So things like properties, things like high dividend paying stocks and bonds, things that are a little bit safer than the higher risk investments that I'm making now with my growth stocks. But this is something that I'm going to be doing at the age of 50, and obviously that is going to be testament to not having to worry about paying as many bills and having that pressure off me a little bit, because I put that work in up front in my 20s, 30s and 40s. Now, moving on to the final milestone, which is 60 years old. Now, I know most of the people watching this video are probably dreading or not even thinking about getting to that age, but typically, if we are going by the calculations that I've made in this video and the data that I've been given, you should have a net worth of over £1 million by the age of 60. And this is going to be absolutely fantastic, because this is the time when you are starting to think about, or maybe you already have retired. This is where you should have income producing assets, like I said, like rental properties, that are going to pay you monthly passive income every single month that you do not have to do any work for. And another thing that you should be getting in check and getting ready is your pension, for basically when you get to the age where our government allows you to take that out. I'm not sure exactly what the age is. I'll throw it up on the screen, but of course they do keep putting it back, which is a bit of a pain. But this is another time where you're going to be looking at that pension now coming out and deciding what you want to do with that. And of course, it goes without saying really, and I'm not one to be giving lifestyle advice, but by this age you should not be having to worry about working to pay the bills. This is where all of that work in the previous years should be paying off for you, and you should be able to live a life of luxury and enjoy the hard work that you put on earlier on. Now, one thing I am going to say is I've made this video and I've talked about all these milestones for financial freedom. This has been the typical path towards financial freedom. I personally have much bigger plans than this. I really want to get to that 1 million mark by the age of 40. I've got just over 10 years now, 10 years and 1 month to do that. Whether I can do that or not, we will see. I'm sure I will keep it all documented on this YouTube channel, but I have a bigger goal than that. But I just wanted to make this video based on the facts that I've been given on terms of salary and just the calculations that I've made in terms of investments. But yeah, just to summarize, here are the net worths that you should have by each milestone. And I just want to reiterate once more, these are just figures based on the financial freedom goals that I want people to achieve. This isn't the average money that people have in their bank accounts in the UK. And just taking a look at this chart here for average net wealth by age, if you are beating any of these statistics for your age category, then you are already doing much better than what you should be anyway. And remember one more really important thing: no matter what age you are watching this, it is never too late to start investing towards your future. But yeah, I hope you liked this video, guys. If you are still watching it, one thing that I'm planning on doing is a video going through my net wealth at the age of 29, just before I turn 30. If that is something that you would want, then make sure you let me know in the comments section down below. Like this video, take care guys, and I will see you in the next one.